Hey, Axis and Allies players, the good captain here. Welcome to a review of USA or Italy round one, USA round one, and the execution of Austria-Hungary round two in this game of Axis and Allies 1914, played against human opponent. The Italians purchase 4 infantry, save 2, and basically we just see an advancement of units towards Venice. Click. Transport is essentially immobilized. Um, right. Immobilized for this turn because of the Ottoman transport. So normally the Italians or the French, or like under better conditions for the Entente, you can do this neat little trick with the French where you activate Albania and then load those units onto French and Italian transports and get those vital Italian troops out of there and get them into Italy to start building up the second biggest army on the European mainland for the Entente is the Italian after the French. The British, the Americans, struggle to compete with those two. But anyway, neither here nor there. There's a battle in Sea Zone 17. The Italians open and score one hit, which is in line with the most likely statistical probability. This was a little odd. The Ottomans score 2 hits. So now we're down to 1 broken battleship to 1 Ottoman cruiser. He presses the attack, gets the hit, the Ottomans miss. So that's it for the CP Navy down there. We still have a little bit up north, but we got them to do what we needed them to do. Or, got them to do something productive at the beginning of the game when the CP needed most. So the Americans. We did not review the Americans. Purchase transports. Okay. Alright. And then we get to Austria-Hungary. We built 2 artillery, 1 fighter, 6 infantry. This is, again, a stock purchase. And yeah, okay, so I kind of waffled on this, there's a couple trains of thought here, but the predominant one for me, is this. It's just ram everyone in, including the fighter. And, it's the air battle. There's 3 outcomes to the air battle on a Russian counterattack. That's the Austro-Hungarians have air supremacy, the Russians have air supremacy, or nobody has air supremacy. And the tub swing is, for how many pieces are going to be in this fight, what is this, almost 40? Pushing close to 40 on both sides. Actually, I think it exceeds 40 for the Russians. That's I'm vacillating on how far I want to go into this, because I'm still keeping my mind's still open a little bit on really the Russian Revolution rule, which convolutes everything. There are second and third order effects, even fourth order effects that are just, even after playing 35 games now, I still am learning about. And but I think I'm going to table a detailed discussion. I kind of was waffling back and forth about how deep I wanted to go into this, and the fact that this is a really tight battle doesn't bother me as the CP, at least for right now. And we're just gonna have to let it hang there. I don't. I know this isn't my primary channel, but when I speak on my primary channel, I'm usually speaking from a strong base of experience via games stacked against many different people on AAA. Okay, and I have definitely hit the benchmark here for games stacked, but even this India rule aside, which also hard to factor in. It's I'm just gonna have to be be vague for the moment. I have a hypothesis, and I don't want to speak to, in too much depth because I could definitely be wrong about everything. So, but I will discuss. I will go over one thing, and that is okay, and that is yeah, the tub here. So, depending on how many Austrians survive, let's assume the Russians hit. And they've got the enemy have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, and it's a dead even tub if the Austrians win the air supremacy battle. It's not even a two-piece swing in favor of the Russians if there is no winner. And yeah, if there's a winner, it goes up to like 3 or 4 pieces, I think. Almost a 4-piece, yeah. And we're just talking about infantry for both sides. And this is this is where experience comes in. I'm okay with eating that as the CP. There, I mean, this might be where I make a comparison to other versions of Axis and Allies. When you run a battle calculator in um, the other versions of Axis and Allies, be it Global, Anniversary, whatever, even Classic, there are 60% outcomes for win-loss draw. In this battle calculator, draw makes up a massive percentage. Like, let's just go back to that statistic I'll show you. Okay, so this has a draw of 100%. So whereas most people experienced, or most players who are experienced playing Global 40 Anniversary or whatnot, we'll normally see a percentage that says attacker win, defender win. How do you know? How then do you know how dicey a certain battle is? Well, in 1914, you're hanging on the tub, and the closer it is to zero is just an indication of what the odds of the probability of one side getting totally spanked are. So the closer it is to zero, the wider the bell curve is of probabilities. And so anything can happen. And I've seen both. I've seen the extremes of both worlds in these battles. And given the pressures that the CP are under, this is something, even a turns delay, advance on Moscow, is not a something really they want to eat. I'm not saying it's impossible, done it, but against an experienced opponent, it's not something you want to eat. I'm not really factoring in this India thing, so again, I can't really speak from too much authority, but I will say that in general, I feel like the Entente don't need to take this kind of a risk, and so this is why I kind of shelved the Poland thing. I'm okay with just withdrawing my army. That's one reason. There's another thing I'm just kind of sitting on for now, and I might, if it turns out to be more true than not, then I might present that later. But yeah. So this is my response to that. Okay, so yeah, 8, 8, 4, 1, yeah, 1, 1, yeah, okay, I'm just checking. I've done this many, many times, so just making sure everything makes sense insofar as we are able. So yeah, we're done. So let's do the Albania. It's set to hit 4, but we could have missed, and we didn't, and oh, we got lucky there. And Ukraine, of course, we stomp him. The question is, does he hit back? And he did not. So we're all set and ready, and now we basically pass to the Russian player, you know, to do this big battle that can kind of cook someone's eggs can really get cooked here, either side. Slightly more in favor of the Russians, of course, but again, just given the context of the turn, we're on turn 2 here, and what power we're dealing with, I'm totally okay with this. I would like to say more, but nah, I'm not. Okay, so thanks for watching this. All the best from the good captain, and bye-bye.